Hey TK, it's time for us to do some handwriting and phonics. We're continuing our work with our letter X today, and let's go over our objective so we know what we're doing. Objective is what we are going to learn. I can name things that have the X sound. So this is a little bit different. I did not say at the beginning of the word because X is kind of a special letter. There aren't that many words that begin with X. So we have to listen and hear if we can hear it in other parts of the word. We haven't really done this before, so it might be a little bit tricky, but I know you guys can handle it. I have a couple examples from what I mean up here. So we have xylophone, xylophone. Remember, X makes that X sound. When I say xylophone, where do you hear that X sound? Is it at the beginning, middle, or end of the word? Xylophone. It's at the beginning. So you notice I have the X underlined here at the beginning of the word. So that is one example of an X word. I also have X-ray. X-ray. Where do you hear the X sound in X-ray? Is it at the beginning, middle, or end of the word? X-ray. X-ray also has the X sound at the beginning of the word. What about fox? Fox. Where do you hear the X sound in fox? Is it at the beginning, the middle, or end of the word? It's at the end of the word. Fox is a word that has an X sound. Remember, we're looking for words that have the X sound in it, but it's at the end of the word. What about box? Box. Is it at the beginning, middle, or end of the word? Box. It's at the end of the word. So the words box and fox both have the X sound at the end of the word. So today, when we go over some X words, we also might be looking at words that have the sound at the end. Again, that's because X is a special letter and it doesn't have too many words with X at the beginning. So we're gonna listen for that sound at the end as well. So let's go over to the screen, do our X song, and get started. All right, here comes our X song. Stand on up so we can do it together. Crissy-crossy makes an X, crissy-crossy makes an X, kissy, kissy, crissy-crossy makes an X. Crissy-crossy makes an X, crissy-crossy makes an X, kissy, kissy, crissy-crossy makes an X. Great job, you guys. That was a really good job with the X song. Here's our xylophone, and they're gonna write the letter X for us. There we go. Okay, we're gonna go over some X words. Remember, we might be hearing X at the beginning or at the end of the word. So we'll talk about that while we go over our X words. And then it's gonna be your job to find some X words. Okay, let's begin with our X words. Here we have an X-ray, X-ray. And the X is at the beginning of X-ray. We also have an X-ray fish. You can see the inside of the fish. Also, the X is at the beginning of X-ray fish. We have fire extinguisher, fire extinguisher. The X in fire extinguisher is at the beginning of the word. The extinguisher sound is at the beginning of the word, but notice there is a letter in front of it, letter E, which says so it helps us to make that extinguisher sound. These words also have the X sound towards the beginning of the word, but they have other letters in front of it. exercise, exercise. Exercise has the X sound right there towards the beginning of the word. Exclaim, exclaim. That means to say something with maybe a loud voice. You exclaimed it. Mixer, mixer. Mixer has the X in the middle of the word. Mixer, mixer. The X sound is in the middle of the word. Pixie. A pixie is like a little fairy. Pixie also has the X in the middle of the word. Pixie. Pixie. Explorer. Explorer has the X sound in towards the beginning of the word. Explorer. Explorer. 60. 60, like the number 60 over here, has the X sound in the middle of the word. 60. 60. The X is in the middle of the word. Text. Text is the words that are inside of a book. So here is the text in Peter and the Wolf, the words. In the word text, the X is in the middle of the word. Text. Text. Mailbox. Mailbox. In the word mailbox, the X is at the end of the word. Mailbox. Mailbox. The X sound is at the end. Ooh, relax. To relax. Maybe you like to relax while watching TV. Maybe you like to relax by reading a book. And the word relax, the X sound is at the end of the word. Relax. At the end there of the word. Here's some more sounds. Here's some more X words with X at the end of the word. Axe. Axe. Like in Little Red Riding Hood, the woodcutter used an axe to chop down wood. Axe. Axe. The X sound is at the end of the word. Axe. Ox. An ox is a really big animal that lives out on like the plains. The ox has the X sound at the end of the word. Ox. Ox. Tux. Like a tuxedo. Tux, the fancy suit, has the X sound at the end of the word. Tux. Tux. So a lot of those words had the X sound in the middle or at the end of the word as well. Some of them had it at the beginning, but some had it in the middle or the end. Today, for your sounds practice, you are going to also find words that have the X sound in it, maybe in the middle or the end. So there are some words on this page that are going to have the X sound in the beginning, like X-ray or X-ray fish, but there's also going to be a couple that have it at the end of the word, like ox. See if you can find some that have it in the end of the word too. All right, you guys, so we're going to do that page, and then we're also going to be doing our mini book. Okay, here's your mini book page, so you're also going to find the 3 words that have the X sound in them. Like I said with our practice page, they may not have it at the beginning of the word. They might have it in the middle or the end. So really sound out these words, figure out what sounds you hear in the beginning, middle, and end, and really listen for that X sound. You got it. I know this is a little bit different and tricky than what we've done before, but I know you guys can handle it. All right, I'll see you back here for math.